It didn't tell me it was recording. Okay. Maybe I had it muted. Good morning. How are you? Happy Monday. I'm so excited that you're here. My name is Amber, and well, that's kind of what we're going to talk about today is what I am. um, I'm Amber, and I own a business, and I've worked for the last since 2012 as a VA and a bookkeeper, and I'm slowly transitioning my way out of the bookkeeping world. I'm going to work with the clients that I'm currently with, but I am slowly transitioning and pivoting for a lot of reasons. Um, I will not go into grave detail with this, but I think we're gonna have two videos because I have the thing I'm really excited about that I need to talk about, and then the first piece of content that goes with the thing that we're gonna talk about. Um, I went into this past weekend, and pretty much the previous week going, I really think I need to niche this down or at least narrow my focus a little bit, so that I know who I'm talking to and what I'm supposed to be saying. And um, I had an experience about a week and a half ago, and it has just been like plastered in my brain for a while. And I want to tell you about the experience, and I feel really, really silly telling you the story. So, if you have anything negative to say about this, just keep that little bit of information to yourself. Um, I have always been the weird person who eats their Skittles very strangely. As a child, loved Skittles. Other than everlasting gobstoppers, that was my candy of choice. If I was given the choice to buy candy, that was what I was buying, other than gum and gobstoppers. So, and the only other person that I knew that ate candy the way that I did was my dad. And I don't think that I learned it from my dad because I don't remember noticing that he did this until one day he saw me eating my Skittles and he's like, "What are you doing?" And we both realized that I was eating my Skittles the same way that he eats his M&Ms. And that is to separate them out by color ahead of time. Like you pour out the whole bag and you separate them out by color into piles. And then from there, you separate them out into twos by color. And then if there are odds out, you have to eat them in a certain way. So it's very strange. I've never met anybody who eats them like that. And my husband to this day is like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And so most likely my dad is autistic. But anywho, about a week and a half ago, sometime last week, I was already like really struggling. And then I see this TikTok, or maybe it was a reel or something, and it was this autistic, it was a YouTube short. Now I remember because she was autistic. And she's describing the way that she eats Skittles. And it was the same way that I eat Skittles. And I'm not crying, my eye just itches. In that moment, I started sobbing and or tearing up really bad and had to go upstairs and lock myself in the bathroom for a few minutes just so I didn't have to describe that I was crying about seeing somebody eating Skittles the same way that I was eating Skittles. But I've never felt more seen in a moment when I really needed to feel seen. And that really stuck in my head. And then I'm sitting here and I'm mulling over these options of what do I want to be doing? Who do I want to be working with? I had a meeting, a couple of meetings recently that were not the type of work that I wanted to be doing. And I knew that if I continue in the OBM space where I'm just free for alling, I'm going to end up doing these things that I don't want to do, at least for somebody else, right? Managing a team for myself, no problem. Uh, Doing SOPs on a very small scale, occasionally and not consistently, forever, always. I realized that I would rather chew my left arm off than sit down and do a whole bunch of SOPs for people. Would much rather chew my whole arm off. And I also really need and want the work that I'm doing to be making a larger, grander impact. And I want to be supporting people like the Skittle lady in helping other people feel the way I felt that day watching that short. And I kind of went into the weekend with three options. And I realized that I needed to figure this out. And so Saturday, I started asking questions that would help me really narrow down this focus. The first thing was realizing I would rather chew my left arm off than do an SOP. So that was the three options were dealing with operations like hiring, firing, team management, and the back end systems that keep a business running, which if you have been watching my content, that's some of the stuff that I've been putting out there because it is something that I know something about and I find interesting. The other option was social media management, entirely just focusing on social media management. And I do have a considerable amount of experience in doing the back end stuff for that and helping with strategizing and putting together posts and putting together content calendars. I have all of that experience, right? And but I think that there's a lot of people saying that you can grow a business and be super hyper successful just with social media marketing. And I don't believe that. I believe that it is a big, big part, but it is not everything. And this lighting is bothering me, so we're going to make a little shifty shift. I don't think that it's everything. And I think that you need some form of long form content in order for it to work. And some people swear by long form content on social media. And listen, if I am on there for quick stuff, unless it is just riveting, and I do mean riveting, if I can't skim it and get the gist, I'm moving on. And quite frankly, if you are doing a reel and you have text on the screen plus your name and plus it makes it impossible. This has been driving me nuts. It makes it freaking impossible to actually read all of that stuff that you put so much time. So when you say, here are 3 tips, and I have to go and read the caption, except that I can't because your tiny, teeny, tiny little text is on top of other text and it makes it almost fucking unreadable. Anyway, sorry. This has been something that's been driving me batty. Anyway, so people have these long posts. No, nobody wants to read that. On top of the fact that now I have to do an extra step of turning the volume down because as a person with sensitivities, all of that noise while I'm trying to read in my ear is just not, and it's only like 10 seconds. So it's just playing the same chorus over and over and over again. Makes me want to scream. Stop doing that. Do it better. That's all I gotta say. Do it better. Pick a good song, not people talking. Let people actually read what you're writing or direct them to a blog post. And I have so many ideas. We could talk about it. Um, so then the third idea was just overall content management. And I think that that's where I'm at, is overall content management. And here's why. And I realized that I just took my glasses off and I have a note over there with topics for me to talk about. And I need to clean my glasses. um, oh, yeah, that's totally something. Okay, so that was the other thing that I realized last night while I was lying in bed, is that I really want to help people grow their businesses, and um that the systems and tools and all of that stuff can be quietly done in the background, but helping people maintain the business they already have, and like stabilize their business is not really something I'm interested in, and that's exactly what operations is. It's maintaining, stabilizing, scaling, and maintaining the same quality, etc. And I just don't want to do I just don't want to do it. I don't. Um, and then the SOPs, like we already talked about. So it's overall content management, because I firmly believe in YouTube. I firmly believe in blogs. I firmly believe in social media. And I think that you need a really balanced approach between those things in order to actually succeed in the market right now and going forward. I think that blogs are going to make a comeback. Um, I believe that video content, not even a comeback, because I don't think that they went anywhere. I still listen to blogs or read blogs, but I also listen to podcasts. I listen to videos. And I would say 90% of my TV watching is YouTube. That's where we're at. So I think that there's a lot of really bad information out there, and there's a lot of really good information out there. And I want to help promote and um, propagate more of the good information. That's it. That's who I am. And so you're going to see me shift from saying OBM to a content manager. And I'm also going to start putting together some packages for that. But like I said, really, it was just me wanting to niche down, because it's still OBM work, right? I'm still doing the strategy, I'm still doing the um all the things that I was already talking about, just using a better term for it. So I'm very excited. I finally feel like I'm on the right path. And like I said, I have a ton of experience with this stuff. And I think that, yeah, knowing where you're trying to go, understanding your goals, setting all of that stuff is all part of this process, so that you can actually create a strategy that works. Anyway, all right. So what you're going to see over the next few weeks, and probably maybe today or sometime this week, I'm going to release another video that is going to be me walking through a mock strategy that I came up with for a mock client. And we're going to kind of dive into some of the things that I'm going to suggest for this particular person. And then I'm going to do probably 2 or 3 of these. And then the following set of videos after that, we'll be creating content calendars for those 3 people. A long time ago, I was already planning on doing this as part of the agency. And so I have a 6-week content calendar in Trello template for that. I'm going to extend it to 9 weeks, because everything that I'm doing, the 12-week year had a huge impact. Let me just say, everything that I'm doing is based on a 9-week calendar or 12-week calendar. So I'm going to expand that out to the 12 weeks so that you can get the entire hit and caboodle. And I will put that as a product listing that you can buy in my shop if you're interested in that. It will not be a ton of money, just because, like I said, I just have to click copy, duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. And then I will also offer that as a template for Asana, because I think that Asana is going to be my preferred method for doing this sort of thing. Um, Trying to think of what else I need to share with you before that. So we'll do the content calendar, and then we are going to do mock strategies for 2 or 3 different companies, and then I'll show you how to put together a content calendar for that. And hopefully it'll give you some ideas of what that might look like or what it might look like to work with me. Currently, as of right today, I am only going to be offering strategy sessions and content plans, as far as actually fully managing your social media at this time. I need to figure out what that looks like as far as cost goes. So, um, the strategy sessions with the content planner is, I feel like I wrote that down somewhere. Let me look. The content plan with strategy, the content plan, and an audit, because it's going to include an audit, which includes not only an audit of your stuff, with suggestions and changes that I would make, but it also includes research of 3 of your competitors and comparing like what you're doing with what they're doing and what I think is working for you and what is working better for them, that sort of thing. And the cost of that right now is $5.99, and it's not a 9-week plan, it's only a 30-day plan. So just kind of gives you a taster of what we could do together. However, if we do work together, we would do a 90-day contract, and it would be 3 content plans. 1 strategy, 3 content plans, 1 for each month. Okay. All right, and there's more to that. I'm gonna dive into it once I flush it all out, but that's what I flushed out yesterday. So I hope you guys have a lovely day. I hope you're as excited as I am about this, and I hope that you will stick around and keep an eye on what I'm doing. If not, if this is your last video, I totally get it. I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya. Bye.